Parashat Matot-Masei, they call it a double parasha, but I want to explain double parasha. Like somebody asked me a few weeks ago why we named the parasha Balak, after Balak. You know, he wasn't such a great guy, why do we name it after him? And my answer was, nobody named the parasha after him. Rather, parashiot don't have names. We generally take one of the first words in the parasha and we just stick it onto the parasha. Why? Because how else do you tell somebody how to find the place in the Chumash? You have a Chumash. It has no punctuation. It has no... Does the Chumash have chapters? The Chumash doesn't have chapters. Who put chapters in the Chumash? The Catholic Church. Yeah, that's where the chapters come from. Why did we put the chapters in the Chumash? Why did we listen to the Catholic Church?
Because they come and ask questions.
That's a good idea.
Very good. Well, we would debate with the Catholic Church. You know, the Ramban had a famous debate with James of Aragon. And James of Aragon says, hey, Bereshit, chapter 29, verse 3. And the Ramban says, I don't know what that is. And then our rabbis looked like they didn't know the Chumash. And so we had to take on these numbers in order to be able to argue. But these are not Jewish numbers. So sometimes the breakup, you wonder like who decided this chapter starts here, who decided it ends there. With the Parashiot, our rabbis instituted orders. But they would say, like the name Parashat Bereshit wouldn't be called Parashat Bereshit, rather Parashat Bereshit bara Elohim. That would be the name of the chapter. And then slowly they got shorter names. A double parasha is a misnomer. In years where we have many, many weeks, so in years where we... In years where we have many weeks, so we spread out the parashiot a little thinner, so we don't have to have double parashiot. There are times where either because of the holidays and the way they fall out, or because of the amount of weeks that, in the way this math works, so we decided this year we can't read 1 week Matot, 1 week Masei, so we Matot-Masei. That's the way that works. It's not so much a double parasha as when our rabbis separated the parashiot, they gave us portions to read, and that's the way we do things today. So the parasha begins with some words. Now what are words? I'm going to tell a joke, nobody should get offended. Our rabbis tell us that the only thing in the world you're allowed to make fun of is avodah zarah, idol worship. You're not allowed to make fun of things. It's not nice. You know, you're not allowed to make fun. But idols, you know, you're allowed to make fun. In fact, if you open up Tractate Megillah, there's a whole page where our rabbis of the Talmud are making fun of idols. In fact, some things there are so inappropriate that I wouldn't be able to translate them and read them to you. Some pretty terrible things. Because avodah zarah, it's like, what kind of fool believes in this stuff? So, this story is an avodah zarah making fun story. There was a town in Spain before the Spanish expulsion, and the bishop of the town, he tells one of the Jews in the town, he says, listen, you know, we're going to expel all the Jews here, but you have a big factory here, a big business, lots of people work for you, we need you around, so I don't want to throw you out. I'm willing to convert you to Catholicism. But if you decide not to convert and you're here one day after the expulsion, I'm personally going to come and cut off your head. You know, a nice neighbor. This is not a true story. Alright. And the guy's thinking and he's thinking and he's thinking. He doesn't know. You know, he's Jewish. He's proud to be Jewish. Why on earth would he be Catholic? On the other hand, business is business. So you're not going to shut down your factory. So he goes to the bishop and he has a conversation. The bishop, let me understand. I need to know, how does it work? How does the conversion work? In the Jewish world, conversions take a long time. I don't even have enough time till the Spanish expulsion. He says, don't worry. If you're ready, I'll convert you, just on one condition. You will never again eat fish on a Friday night. I know Jews, they like to eat fish on Friday night. I'm not willing to let you have this treat of fish on Friday night. That's too Jewish for me. So, okay, asking me a lot to give up fish on a Friday night. This is good. Okay, we'll do it. So the bishop brings him into the church and he takes out some holy water and he sprinkles him once and he says, you're not a Jew, you're a Catholic. Sprinkles him a second time. You're not a Jew, you're a Catholic. Sprinkles him a third time. You're not a Jew, you're a Catholic. Mazal tov, you know, congratulations. And he leaves. Great, that's all I had to do. Nothing, no Brit Milah, nothing like that. It grew wonderful. So he goes, and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he's walking in the market and he sees this beautiful fish. This is a beautiful fish for Shabbat. There's no way. No way. Shabbat, I can't buy it. I promised I'm not going to buy it. Friday comes around, he sees a fish. This fish is gorgeous for Shabbat. I'm going to leave it here in the market. I'll buy it. He buys it, he takes it home, tells the wife to cook it. That night, Friday night, he's sitting around the table and he's about to eat some of the fish for Shabbat, and in the window he sees the bishop's face. The bishop came to spy on him. So he knew this guy couldn't keep his promise. So he breaks down the door, the bishop comes and says, "What, are you crazy? I told you one rule! One rule, don't eat fish on a Friday night." This is a big platter of fish, and the fish is over there with leaves and vegetables, and this guy looks at the bishop and says, "Which fish? I don't see a fish here." "What, are you making fun of me? It's a fish right here on the table." He says, "This? It's not a fish." I bought him in the market on Friday morning. I took him to the church. I took some water. I said, "You are not a fish, you're a chicken. You are not a fish, you're a chicken. You are not a fish, you're a chicken. This is a chicken, not a fish." In Judaism, words have power. A lot of power. And even though we sometimes make fun, you have so many words but you don't do any actions, words also are powerful. Maybe not enough just to turn a fish into a chicken, but enough to really make some serious mark on the world. When we say something about somebody else, there's a famous story about the Chavetz Chaim. There was a lady who spoke Lashon Hara about her next door neighbor. She said all kinds of things about her, right and left, to the whole neighborhood. At a certain point, her friend got so sick because of all the things that were speaking bad about her, she wanted to put a stop. Okay, I don't want her to suffer this much. She goes to Chavetz Chaim and says, "Rabbi, how do I do teshuvah? How do I fix what I did wrong?" He says, "You come with me tomorrow morning and bring with you a pillow that's made out of feathers. Come." He comes. He starts climbing up the mountain, like Mount Soledad. He's climbing. At the top of the mountain, he says, "Okay, now rip open the pillow." He rips open the pillow. He says, "Throw it up in the air." And he throws it up in the air, and the wind is blowing the feathers right, left, up, down. And he says, "Now let's wait 10 minutes. This is a really weird rabbi. This is how you do teshuvah for speaking about other people. They wait, and the feathers are blowing, they're blowing. He says, "Okay. Now take this bag that the pillow is in and gather up all the feathers. So when you get all the feathers, that's when you finish doing your teshuvah." It's impossible. Who knows? I went to somebody's house, somebody's backyard, under somebody's horse. He says, exactly. That's how Lashon Hara works. Because even if you decide to stop speaking about somebody, you already told it to somebody else, and they already told it to somebody else, and they already told it to somebody else. And even if you wanted to take things back, you don't even know who to go talk to. You don't even know where to look for people. The power of speech is incredible. There's a famous Ashkenazi Kabbalist. And the world doesn't know him as a Kabbalist, but he was a Kabbalist. His name was the Vilna Gaon. And his student was also a famous Ashkenazi Kabbalist named Rabbi Chaim. That's the Rizal student.
Oh, Chaim Volozhin.
Very good. Rav Chaim of Volozhin. Rav Chaim of Volozhin wrote a book in which he says that every word that you say wrong, it's worse than Titus, who led the Romans destroying the temple. It's worse. He said, but when you say something right, it's even greater than the King Mashiach coming and rebuilding the temple. Your words carry with them tremendous weight. And that's what this parasha starts about. V'daber Moshe el Rashi Matot Ivnei Yisrael lemor. He says, Moshe speaks to the head of the tribes and he tells them, these are the words in which Hashem has told me. Ish, a person, Kidor neder l'Adonai, o yishava shvuah le'esor isar al nafsho, lo yachel devaro. If a man will take a vow, or he'll make an oath to do something or not to do something, lo yachel devaro, he will not take back what he said. Kechol hayotze mipiv yaseh. Everything that came out of his mouth, he has to do. So an adult who says something, I promise to be here. I promise I will never eat. I will never do. When said in the proper way, This is binding. There's nothing you can do about it. We made a promise that we have to stick to that promise. What happens to a person? Well, let's get there. There are all kinds of speech which is bad. Good speech? What's a good speech? Let's hear. Before we talk about the bad. Words of Torah. Speaking words of Torah. You can't go wrong speaking words of Torah. To constantly be speaking Torah. There's a famous Hasidic teaching. What did Hashem create man from? Human beings.
Dust, earth.
From the dirt of the earth. When you walk down the street and you're stepping on the dirt says, "Hey you, who do you think you are that you're stepping on me? What gave you piece of dirt, the right to step on me, a piece of dirt?" The answer?
Hashem breathes.
I'm speaking words of Torah. When I walk, I am singing Tehillim. I'm reading Mishnayot. I'm saying Psukim from the Chumash. When I walk. And that's why the dirt says, "Oh, you're saying words of Torah, please walk on me." It says, but if not, who do you think you are to step on the dirt? You're just a piece of dirt. I used to walk with our parents in Yerushalayim. Always mumbling. ויברך דוד את אדוני לעיני כל הקהל ויאמר דוד ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהי ישראל אבינו מלך מלך אדוני. He would say all kinds of psukim. Always. עלינו לשבח. Shema Yisrael. Mostly ויברך David. Because how could you walk around? I'm just a human being like you. I'm dirt like the floor. I have to be better than that. The words of Torah, it's not just because Hashem gave us the Torah. It's literally what makes us different from us and the dirt that we walk on. Is the fact that we have a Torah. That's the difference. That's what looks different here. Want some lemonade? When I do mitzvot, what else can I do that's good with my mouth? Tzedakah, okay? Helping people, comforting people. We visit sick people, we speak to them. We visit mourners and we speak to them. We see somebody that's say, "Hey, have a nice day." We say good things. What else? We pray. Very good. Tefillah, that's with our mouth. What else do we do with our mouth? Words. Okay, language, comforting people.
Being kind to people.
Being kind to people. Anything else that we forgot? What? Breathing, okay. With our words though, what power do our words have? Okay, I think we've covered most of what our words can do. What about the things that our mouth could say that are bad? There's a few categories here.
Bad words.
I should read you what I have in my notes.
Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything.
Thank you for the charges. By the way, pellets once thought words that you say for parnasah, for livelihood, it's also good. Good things. Things that you say to your children, to your wife, to your people on the street, to your co-workers, all of those are positive things with our words. What's not, let's find. So, one, Lashon Hara. There's two kinds of Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara and what's the second category? Rechilut, very good. What's the difference between Lashon Hara and Rechilut?
Shaar is true.
Lashon Hara is true. You know Raphael, he wears a blue hat. Now, that's not really Lashon Hara because nothing happened to him. But imagine if you know a person who hates people who wear blue hats. You know Raphael, he wears a blue hat. Now you just did something. There's no purpose to say it. He's going to get hurt from this. Lashon Hara. But it's true. So what if it's true? You can't say everything that's true. How many things I know that are true that I can say? Rechilut is the opposite. Raphael, this guy, he came to the class on Thursday night wearing a white robe. It's not true. Lies fall in the category of Rechilut. Rav Kook alav shalom, his son, Rabbi Tzvi Huda Kook, he was famous for saying that today nobody speaks Lashon Hara. Nobody speaks Lashon Hara. Because nobody tells the truth anymore. Everybody's a liar. They make such stuff up, they exaggerate so much when they say Lashon Hara, it's not even true anymore. And therefore it's worse. Not only are they not telling the truth, they think they're telling the truth, but they're really making up lies. You know, you see somebody take an extra straw at Starbucks. And you go to your friend, you know, this guy, let's make up a name if nobody's sitting here, give me a name. You know Reuven? Reuven, he's a thief, he steals. I saw him stealing from Starbucks. Now, what does this person think? They took a gun, came to the cashier, and the cash register took it. Now, did he steal? Yeah, it could be that they're taking too many straws from Starbucks and stealing, but you didn't even say Lashon Hara truthfully. You said Lashon Hara in a lie, so that counts as Rechilut. So that's one. Two. All kinds of oaths and vows. What are we studying Kehillat on Tuesday night? Then you don't promise for anything. All kinds of promises, normal people don't keep them. It's better for you just not to promise them. That would be the best thing. Take out of your vocabulary the words, I swear, I promise. Just skip it. Don't say it like that. I'm telling you the truth, maybe you could say so. But I promise. Why do you have to promise? I promise you I saw him playing baseball yesterday. Because of somebody playing baseball, you're willing to put yourself in a category of promising something? When we go to court, there are even judges that will allow Jews, I swear to say the truth and nothing but the truth, to skip the word swear. I affirm that I am saying the truth and nothing but the truth. Are you allowed to swear? If I'm telling the truth, I can swear. But the Jews have always been careful, even when we're telling the truth, not to swear. Because that's how important it is. What else? Klalot. Cursing. Cursing is not what you think cursing. Cursing is like, in Yiddish, they have thousands of amazing curses. All the Arabic curses in the world, they don't match up to the curses in Yiddish. In Yiddish, it's like, you should go and be like an ostrich, hides his head in the dirt and gets run over by a donkey. Like such curses like that. That's a curse. We weren't that creative, Those curses, you're not allowed to say such things. A person who curses using Hashem's name, you know that if they come to Bedin and they swear they saw something, we throw out their testimony. If they sign on a ketubah, on a wedding document, the couple is not married. I was once in a yeshiva that I left. It's important for you to know which yeshiva, but not in camera. And this Rosh Yeshiva, he was famous for cursing people right and left. An American place, a modern Orthodox American place. This guy, the toilet seat in the public bathroom somewhere here in San Diego that's never been cleaned in 20 years is cleaner of mouth than he has. Once a guy came, 18-year-old kid, he came with his cell phone. He was supposed to leave his cell phone somewhere. He brought it into the classroom. He wasn't even using it. He had it on the table. This rabbi comes in. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this wall. You should go back to your room in the dorms in front of the whole yeshiva. And God willing, on the way to the dorm, you should drop dead in the street.
What?
What are you stupid? This guy just brought a cell phone to the yeshiva. He didn't do anything wrong. Enough to curse him to drop dead? From then, when people invite me to weddings, and if this rabbi is going to be at the wedding, I can't be there. Because the wedding's not kosher. You curse with Hashem's name? That's like a biblical category curse. It's crazy. Out of your mouth should never come such things. Hope you this, I hope you that. No, I don't hope anything. I don't even care about you to hope about you. The fourth category. Making fun of people. It's different than cursing at people. Making fun of people. You're the worst kind of making fun of people? What's the worst way to make fun of someone? Let's say I call Rafael. Can I pick on him tonight? Let's say I call Rafael stupid. That's picking on him, but everybody around the table knows he's not stupid. So it doesn't even stick because it's not. It's exaggerated. It'll be like if I call him with the purple heart and silver star. Oh, you're a scaredy cat. I'm a scaredy cat. You run away from lightning. I was in Vietnam. If you would call him a scaredy cat. So you're making fun of him, but it's not even real. What's harmful to make fun of someone? Is when you tell them the truth. Hi, you're Jewish, and you make fun of someone. What can I do? There's nothing I can do about that. You're black. Racism? Why does racism hurt so much? Aside from the stupidity that because of somebody's skin color, you could be better or worse than somebody else. So the stupidity of I don't even know who was lacking brains enough to invent such a thing. but the attitude of, I'm going to make fun about you, about something that you can't change. If you call me stupid, so I'll go to school, I'll study, I'll learn how to read and write, I'm not stupid anymore. You make fun of my nose, you make fun of my hair color, what can I do about it? What do you want from me? It's really hard. You get a person stuck in a situation, there's nothing you can do about it. Our mouth can do all kinds of things. The amount of kids in high school that commit suicide because people make fun of them in school. It's not normal. You think you can only kill people with knives and guns? Your words also kill people. The way people are treated. For what purpose should a kid who's 13, a 13-year-old commit suicide? On which planet? What does a 13-year-old know yet about life that he knows that he doesn't want to have it? A bully? And the truth is, I'm not, in this department, I'm not an educator. If I had a bully in my class, I wouldn't know what to do. I have no rachmanut, I have no kindness to it. I'm sure that half the bullies in the world were bullied. I'm sure half the bullies in the world were bullied, and so by hurting them, you would really just be hurting someone else's victim. But a bully is a murderer, no different than somebody else. Why is murdering a soul worse than murdering less than murdering a body? It can really kill a person's whole being. You know how many high schoolers today are on antidepressant medication? What do they have to be depressed about yet? I'm not mocking, I'm telling you, it's a reality of the world we live in. There are people internet bullying, cyberbullying. I was recently involved in a case. A guy had a girlfriend. Imagine, 18 years old. Let's make them 18 years old for the sake of the discussion. And I don't know what boyfriends and girlfriends do together on the phone, but they sent all kinds of inappropriate pictures one to the other. And now he broke up with her. And it's not enough for him to break up with her, he wants to ruin her life. So he puts all these pictures on Facebook, on Instagram, I don't know wherever you put pictures, on whatever you put pictures. Things that were meant for somebody, listen, if it was my kid and you're sending pictures like that to somebody, I'm sending you to Rafael for a weekend. Yeah? But the truth is that this was given to you in confidence. What kind of disgusting person are you that you would take something that was given to you in confidence and hurt the person who trusted you with? And there are parents who raise kids like this? I don't know, you have to get a license to get married. You have to go to the county, bring your papers, prove you're single. You have to get a license to drive a car. Okay, it's a different license than a marriage license. My wife gets mad when I say this because social workers don't believe in this. Why shouldn't there be a license to have kids? And sometimes I walk places, I see a guy, you should have no license to be a dad. I don't know where you come from, I don't know which planet you were born in, I don't know who raised you. Maybe it's not your fault, but you should never bring a kid into this world. Because the only kid you're going to bring into this world is going to become our problem. He's going to hurt somebody, he's going to kill somebody, he's going to be living on the... because you messed him up. I know it's a harsh thing to say. I know you could get mad at me as a rabbi for saying such a thing. And everybody's human, so we all mess up somewhere. You don't think I'm going to mess up with him a little bit? Of course I'm going to mess up. But we have to take seriously this. Bullying is not a joke. It is where everything you say, you have to keep. Why? Because your words are powerful. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Maybe in a song, but not in truth. That's not the truth.
Why?
Aside from making fun of people, lies. We spoke about lies in Kehillat this week. But realize, sometimes people lie to you. It's such a ridiculous thing to lie about because I'm going to find out if you're lying. It's not even but there are people who make up stories. I used to have people come to me, tell me things, and then you start looking into it and it's not even true. Today I came to school to pick up a Hana. I said, oh, don't forget his cousin. His cousin doesn't go to school with him. They made up one of the girls is a cousin of his. And somebody was going, not him, somebody was going around saying it's a cousin. I don't think I'm going to find out. Somebody's going to ask, are you related? We're going to have the same last name. Nibul peh. Nibul peh means dirtying your mouth. When we say cursing, that's what we mean. Talk about things that are inappropriate. there's so many different ways to talk about this. But the simple saying words that are bad, that are whatever in every society is different, so every place that are dirty, talking about topics that are immoral. What are you talking about? Even a husband and a wife have rules about what they can talk about. And they're married to each other, they're big kids, they're adults, but there are things they cannot say. When I moved to San Diego, I called up Rav Peretz. I said, Rav Peretz, I want to know, what are the rules about sitting around, having Torah classes, men and women sitting together? He said, let me tell you. I let you have classes with men and women sitting together. I let you teach Torah classes with men that are not even wearing a kippah. Let them study without a kippah. He said, but if one... oh no. But if one person says something dirty, close down the class. Oh. Because how could you create a place where people come supposedly to study and all they talk about is... I've been to classes where the rabbis were more inappropriate than the people who were teaching the classes. And I'll tell you what inappropriate means. There are a lot of rabbis who love to talk about the laws of modesty for women. How women should dress, what kind of this they should wear, how long their sleeves have to be, or they like to talk about things like what you shouldn't look at on the internet, or what they have. And it's one thing to mention something in passing, but you have a 3-hour class on it, you have 30 classes about it, you have 100 classes. The most immodest thing to do is talk about modesty. Why do you have to talk to women about what kind of socks they're allowed to wear? Go let a woman talk to a woman about that. It's unpopular what I'm saying right now. I have classes when I teach a couple before they get married. I teach the groom. My wife teaches the bride. We don't have classes together. What kind of person is it? Why do I have to talk to her about things that are relevant to her? Why should a woman in my community ever have to come talk to me about things that she's uncomfortable talking to me about? I know the same thing about a man. I have a kushya, rebuke about the Jewish community for a long time. The rabbis say that a man can go to a woman doctor and a woman can go to a male doctor because doctors have integrity and they're involved in their work. They're not looking to be inappropriate. Let me tell you, my friend the doctor, I don't know which doctors they were talking about, but there are plenty of inappropriate things the doctors say after they see patients. But even if it wasn't true, says Rav Peretz, this halakha only applies in a situation where, imagine you're in San Diego and you're a man, you know the best surgeon in town, she's a woman. So okay, so in that situation you don't have to put yourself in danger to not go to a female doctor. But if she's not even the best doctor in town, I mean you can get a better doctor than her. So why do you have to go to her? Just because it's allowed? When I had Al-Khanan, there were 2 choices of doctors. One, Irish Catholic doctor, she was a lady, and one Jewish guy. You know, I feel in general, it's nice, you know, he understands Jewish law and Shabbat, and I'm gonna let my family, my wife was gonna go give birth with a male doctor? It's not normal. Why would you do that? So, I'll tell you, this Irish Catholic lady was the best doctor we ever had. Incredible. Incredible. The Jewish guy, I can hang out with him in synagogue. I don't have to hang out with him in the hospital room. I don't know where people got this idea that every man could go to a female doctor. Where I don't know. I have complaints about this. But sometimes I'm afraid to talk about it because I don't think anybody's going to listen to me. More than ibul peh in a person's mouth. I have one last thing on my list. This category, every time I talk about it, people have a hard time with me bringing it up. Every time I mention this, people get mad.
So bring it up. Let's do it.
When someone passes away, according to halakha, you shouldn't be the person to go tell everybody that someone passed away. You should never be the bringer of bad news. Now I know it goes against everything you know, so this is what upsets people. If Do you remember when Rabbi Elyashiv was sick? He passed away like 104 or something, right? His daughter was married to Rebbetzin Kanievsky, was married to Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky. When she passed away, Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky ruled that his father-in-law was not healthy enough to deal with the fact that his daughter had passed away. And they sat Shiva, they buried her, they sat Shiva, they mourned her for a year. And I'm not sure that until the day Rabbi Elyashiv passed away, he knew that his daughter had passed away. Now, it's pretty intense, a pretty crazy thing. Doesn't he have the right to know? Now, in this situation, health is involved. In most situations, a person finds out that the next door neighbor passed away. It doesn't break them to the point of being sick. But someone's going to tell them anyways. Why do you have to be the person to tell them? Why do you have to be the one who knows? I run around town telling. Now, if you're part of the Cheva Kadisha, your job is to get together a minyan, your job is to pray for people. Fine, okay, I'm not dealing with that. But there are some people, they like to tell you all the news that happened in town. Oh, you know who got married? You know who got divorced? You know who died? Why do you have to have that job? It's like a professional Lashon Hara person. This is what their job is. It's the original Facebook. You know, you don't have to ask him, but you just go to this one person. Every town in the world has this person. You call them up. I need to know about the next door neighbor's grandson. What do they name him? They know. Or if they don't know, they know who to call. What kind of person are you? Why do you always have to be bringing news? If you're going to bring news, bring good news. Bring good news to people. Tell them good things. Once, and I regret it until today. Once I called up a Peretz to ask him a halachic question. The question involved a pretty sad case of abuse and things like that. And he answered my question because I asked him. I hung up the phone and I called him back and said, Rabbi, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to have left you off for talking to you about such a thing. Let me tell you something, some good news. Good news is, Baruch Hashem, we're bringing our second Sefer Torah to the community, we're having a celebration, and Rabbi Yonatan, thank you for making me happy again. It's important, sometimes not to always be the one who brings the bad news, sometimes the one who brings the good news. Other people, there are always people who are going to talk bad. Let them talk about it. Why do you have to talk about it? Your words are so important. Think about it. And this is not something you decide tonight and your life changes, but it's something you have to work on over time. To learn not to lie, to learn not to curse, to learn not to say bad things, to learn to only say good things. Baba Sali, Rabbi Israel Abu Chatzera was one of our great Kabbalists. And when he was in school as a little boy, he cursed one of his friends. His friend heard him, he cursed him. And Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzera's grandfather, the Abir Yaakov, took him aside. He said, Israel, listen to me carefully. Your words are not like everybody else's words. Your words, they come true. Promise me now that you will never say something bad to another person in the rest of your life. He was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And he promised, and that's how he got the name Baba Sali. What does Baba Sali mean? What does Baba mean? Oh, come on, you guys don't have Arabic to know what Baba means.
You told us before, and I can't remember.
Achana, what does Baba mean?
Son?
Who do you call Baba?
Yeah.
Baba means Abba. Come on, guys.
Abba.
Even Achana knows. You go to a Persian home or a Arabic home. Baba is daddy.
More like Papa.
Very good.
So Sally means something like a promise.
Sally. How do you say prayer in Hebrew? Tefillah. How do you say prayer in Aramaic? You know, you just don't know what you're saying. That's in Hebrew. Titkabel. Titkabel, we say Kaddish. Titkabel, tzlotana, tzloton, uvoton, v'chol bet Israel. Tzlotana. Tzlota is a prayer. Tzlota. In Arabic is very similar to Hebrew and to Aramaic. So the word in Arabic for prayer is, some places sli, some places sali, like slotana, the same word. In the Arabic dialect, tsa, you don't say tsa, you say s, like sadiq, not sadiq, you say sadiq. So, Baba Sali means the father who's always praying, always giving blessings to people. That's where he got his name from, because he always said good things to people. Everybody he saw, he blessed them, and he blessed them, and he blessed them, always blessing people. It's our job to be the kind of people whose mouths we guard. I'll end off with the last pasuk. It says, "V'isha ki tido neder l'Adonai v'asara yisar bevet avia b'nureh." There's two kinds of ladies who make vows. One who's married, and one who's somebody's daughter. She's still young. And I know what I'm going to say is not popular either in the Western world. But we're responsible for the things that happen in our house. Not entirely. I mean, our kids can do things that we're not proud of. And we didn't ever try to make them that way. But there's a famous Gemara that if you see a little kid say a bad word, he probably learned it from his parents. You see a child do something wrong, probably learned it from their parents. Not always. I mean, when they're 25, they're no longer little kids. When you see a 3-year-old say a word, okay, probably you can guess where you got that from. We're responsible for the things that happen in our house. We live in a society where a dad is not a dad anymore, and a mom is not a mom anymore, and a husband is not a husband anymore, and a wife is not a wife anymore, and kids are not kids anymore. The whole world became one big, we went back to before the world was created. The world became chaotic, chaos. What happens when there's chaos in the world? Darkness is in the world. There's an order in the world. Now, in some families, the order might be a little different, but that's fine. But for the most part, we have an obligation for what goes on in our house. We have to take care of the things that happen in our house. We have to take responsibility. It can't be that our kid, I have a son, what can I do? I have a daughter, what can I do? That's what she does. What do you mean? She's paying you rent. She pays the electricity bill. She pays water, plumbing, school, the rides that you give her back and forth, gym lessons, whatever they do. No, so you still have a say in your house. It's not going to happen in my house that something like this is going to... You want to go somewhere else? The person has a responsibility. I sometimes see husbands and wives like they're roommates. They're not even married to each other. Mm-hmm. She does this, he does that. And sometimes they meet on the weekend. They go for dinner. One guy, they asked him, "Tell me, how did your marriage last for so many years?" He says, the secret to a good marriage is I go to dinner with my wife twice a week. She goes on Mondays, I go on Tuesdays. This is sometimes you see relationships like that. There's nothing in common with these people. They don't reflect on each other. They don't care about each other. They don't know about each other. You don't want to be in a relationship like that. You don't be the kind of relationship where we represent each other. We do things for each other. We're responsible for the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. That's a real relationship. We're stuck to each other. You're like Siamese twins, joined at the hip. We live in a world, let me live my life. You live your life, I'm living my life. If I wanted to live my life, I wouldn't get married to you. I got married to you because you don't have a life anymore. I don't have a life anymore. We have a life now. That's why we got married. We live in a world where that's not even like, you say this to the street, they're laughing. That's the truth. You're responsible for the things that happen in your life. Make sure, if you have good habits and you have good character traits, your kids are going to walk away with good habits and good character traits. Your spouse is going to walk away with good habits and good character traits. And you see this so often. You see a person who's married to the wrong person, and they're like negative their whole life. You see a person who's married to the right person, now everyone has problems. But for the most part, they make each other's life incredible. You see kids and parents that love each other and respect each other. You see a whole different harmony in the house. You see parents and kids that the parents are afraid of the kids couldn't care less about the parents. You live in a world where there's chaos. You're my kid. I'm your father. I'm your mother. Does it mean I'm a slave to you? No, not forever. But some decent respect. In Israel? Why am I saying Israel? Because if I was talking about America, I have stories to tell you for the rest of my life. In Israel, there was a kid, not a religious kid, but an Israeli kid. Him and his friends were having a party in the house, and his mother came out of the bedroom and said, "Please lower the music, it's late." And they killed her.
What?
They killed her.
Is it true?
Yes, it's a true story.
Oh my God.
I was in Israel. Tragedy. When this kid went to court, who does she think she was to tell me to lower the music?
Wow.
Now that's a crazy example, but it didn't start there. It started in a world that the home wasn't a home. What do you mean? Your mother tells you to do something, even if you don't like it, so you don't do it. When you go live in your own house, you can do whatever you want. But in her house, in his house,
Big no.
where do you come from? You live in a world where if a kid respects his parents, you should give him a trophy. Even if once in his life he respects his parents, give him a trophy. Because they live in a world where between what they're watching and between what they're listening to and between who they're growing up with, you never even stand a chance. This is what the parasha is about. Am Yisrael, we're not holy because we're born holy. Nobody's born holy. You're born with this book. And you're given an opportunity. Your words are important. If you use this book and you say these words, and you ignore the words that are bad for you, you can become a very holy person. You can become like an angel, like Moshe Rabbeinu. You can become a person who Hashem literally speaks through your mouth to the whole world and gives the 10 Commandments. Or Chaz v'Shalom, you could be the exact opposite. That choice is yours, and it's never too late in your life. Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't grow up in a Jewish house. He didn't go to Jewish school. Moshe Rabbeinu grew up in Egypt, in Paro's house. You know who's Paro? He was an idol. He was a walking, talking idol. People prayed to Paro. He grew up an Egyptian. He didn't even know he was Jewish. Until later in his life, he sees the Egyptian man hitting. That's when he remembers he's Jewish. If Moshe Rabbeinu could become the most chosen human being on earth, so can you. Is it hard? Nobody said it was easy. But is it worth it? Absolutely. If you have a family like you should have, and you have yourself, your own being, you're in peace, you're in harmony, you don't even need Gan Eden. Your Gan Eden is here. Your reward is here, your beauty is here, your life is here. Zad Hashem, that's my blessing. And we should, in this earth, make it for ourselves a Gan Eden. I'm going to Israel, God willing, next week. I'm going to pray for everybody here. I'm going to have everybody in mind over there. And Zad Hashem, I should come back to see a Gan Eden here in Kehillat HaShamayim. I'm looking forward to some very special things.
Amen.